We're talking Panasonic KAIROS. They've announced some additions to their expanded LED alliance, and this is kind of neat. So, background, what is KAIROS? KAIROS is Panasonic's GPU rendered software-based switching solution. It's marketed in the same markets that you would see Sony, Grass Valley, Ross Video in terms of these large format switchers. The fundamental difference being it's not hardware driven. So while all of the other manufacturers are driving their switchers using FPGAs and they're writing very baseline code, they're fixed function. KAIROS is not, because KAIROS is a software-based GPU system. You can adjust its functioning on the fly in real time to some degree, more like you would see out of a graphics engine. It just happens to be a switcher format. One of the things that's really cool about this is with this new unified IP control system where they're able to talk directly to a Brompton processor or a Colorlight processor or a Megapixel processor or a Novastar processor, they are able to do dynamic resource allocation. They're able to do dynamic screen adjustments in terms of scaling, sizing, windows, all of the sorts of things that we're traditionally doing with an analog way or a Spyder or a Barco processor. So it eliminates some of that additional expense and layer, and that gives you operational efficiencies. It makes it faster to set the system up. It allows you to do more complex workflows, like working with multiple LED partners. So if you're in the rental and staging market, or let's say you've got a multi-studio setup where you've got studios 1 through 3, you renovate year 1, you go with this particular processor. Let's say it's Brompton. Year 2, you end up with a Novastar processing system. Year 3, you end up with a Megapixel processing system. Well, now you can use that same control level on the KAIROS to control all 3 of those different studios without having to have some type of jumping off point to a third-party product. That's true for the rental world. So a lot of times when you're working at a rental house, you may have more than one vendor supplying you LED, or you may be, if you're a production house, you may be having to rent from multiple rental houses, and you may get different processors. So having this functionality is kind of cool, and it's neat. I do think that the potential downsides of the KAIROS might temper that a little bit because it's GPU based and you're allowed unlimited layers and unlimited scenes essentially. That unlimited is to the performance of the box. So once you run out of GPU resources and CPU resources, you run out of everything. So it's not unlimited in the sense that, I can do anything. It's just limited to the ability of that box. There's still a lot of people who aren't comfortable with software-based solutions. So if you're familiar with vMix or you're familiar with some of the other products like TriCaster, there are risks and times where you might have to reboot a box because the operating system requires it. Maybe it's got an update, maybe the user interface has stalled out. Hardware switchers generally don't have that kind of risk. A lot of them are turned on and then not turned off until they're decommissioned. With a GPU-based system, with a software-based solution, that risk does go up. It's not a guarantee. Don't let it turn you off from the product, especially in these types of workflows. If I was going to project out into the future and say, what does this really mean? It means that you're going to see some of those other incumbent players adding similar controls into their systems. So particularly the people like Ross with their Expression and Tessera products are likely to add this type of direct processor control, maybe just light, brightness controls, maybe color controls, but they may go further in the future. You'll probably see products like Resolume also adding some of this functionality, and you might see it from companies like Daktronics and ANC as well on some of their solutions. So I think this is great for the industry. I think this is cool that Panasonic is driving this. Do I think it's going to nudge the needle on Panasonic sales? I hope so for them. It's still a cool concept. It's just got to be the right customer. It's got to be the right customer who needs that level of efficiency out of a software-driven solution. So yeah, Brompton is adding the functionality to their Tessera SQ200. Colorlight's adding it to the Z8T. And Megapixel's really looking forward to leveraging their ST2110 interface with this control layer out of it. So if you want to know more about the KAIROS and about this kind of workflow, give us a call, 1-877-81-TakeOne. Email us at mail@takeone.tv. Leave us a comment, like, and subscribe. We're here to kind of help you navigate this complex workflow. Hey, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.